G'day, welcome back to the channel, Ginger Ninja's Movie Reviews. I am the Ginger Ninja and these are my movie reviews. Now, if you're new to my channel, thank you very much for tuning in, stopping by and checking it out. It is truly appreciated. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up button, that would also be appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing to my channel. I am getting closer to the 1,000 subscriber mark, so every subscriber helps, so it is truly appreciated. And while we're speaking of subscribers, I do want to say a big thank you to all of my new and existing subscribers. I know I do say it every week, but I truly do mean it. Thank you so much for your continued support. Anyway, let's get to the movie. Now, as part of Nothing But 90s November, I am looking at 1997's The Relic. Now, this one, I remember watching this when it first came out. Back on pay TV in Australia, it was an enjoyable film, but let's see if it's held up. Now, the film was directed by Peter Hyams. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And it stars Tom Sizemore, Penelopeannmiller, Lindahunt, and many, many more. The plot. Now, it's a pretty straightforward plot. A homicide detective and an anthropologist try to destroy a South American lizard-like god who's on a people-eating rampage in a Chicago museum. Yeah, pretty standard plot, right? Well, look, there will be spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen this one, you've been warned. Now, look, this is a creature feature horror film, and it was based on a best-selling novel by Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child. The movie is a mixed bag of thrilling moments, atmospheric tension, and some really unfortunate missteps. And it results in a film that, while entertaining in parts, it just falls short of being a true classic. But that's not to say it's not enjoyable. So let's get into it. Now, this came out in a year where aliens were resurrected. Someone knew what we did last summer. And an event happened on the horizon. So let's explore The Relic.
Like big bushy, Ginger Ninja on the prowl, smacking on pretenders with a southern caramel growl. 60-second flicks, reviews hotter than the sun. Sword master underwater battles never done. Rocket shot, steady hand, cold as ice. Critics in the crosshairs, he don't think twice. Movie scenes dissected, sliced with precision. Beard game strong, legendary vision. Ginger Ninja, barrel pristine. Voice flashing waves, no denying he's a king. Nothing terminal lessons, leaves him in awe. Movie review, assassin laying down law. Ginger Ninja, barrel pristine. Voice slicing waves, no denying he's the king. Salted caramel essence, leaves him in awe. Movie review, assassin laying down law. Bear oil pack, ready for the fight. Where the sharks afflicts, he conquers the night. From silver screens to ocean depths below, Ginger Ninja reigns, that's all you gotta know. Bear oil stash glistening in the light. Mixed vodka with knowledge crafted in sight. Shark fin haters, they scatter for sight. Ginger Ninja's wisdom, looking dynamite. Legends we crafted from tales people tell. Something caramel dreams in a vodka infused shell. 50 seconds flat, analyze it with flair. Ginger Ninja forever, ain't nobody compare.
Okay, so let's have a look at the cast. And it's a bit of a mixed bag, but we have some really good actors in this one. We've got Tom Sizemore leading the way, and he brings a somewhat grounded, no-nonsense approach, even with his little foibles, like his, certain things, picking up the penny off the ground as it face down, as it face up, don't step over their body, things like that. And that kind of anchors the film amongst all this, supernatural chaos that's going on. And I use supernatural loosely because it's the best way to describe what this creature is. We also have Penelopeannmiller, and she delivers a very solid performance as Dr. Green, Dr. Margot Green. And she brings this intelligence, but also a vulnerability. But unfortunately, her character does lack a little bit of depth, and it fails to truly anchor her to the story. The supporting cast, including Linda Hunt as the museum director, She adds some gravitas to the actual ensemble cast, but many of the characters are just reduced to fodder for the creature, and it robs them of any memorable moments or memorability even. It's this lack of compelling character arcs that diminishes the human stakes in the story. Now onto the directing and the writing. And look, Peter Hyams deserves credit for crafting a very dark and oppressive atmosphere. And he uses the museum's location, its halls, and shadowy exhibits to great effect. But it's often too dark to really be seen effectively. The pacing overall is quite uneven. The first half builds tension methodically, but then the climax devolves into your standard chase sequences. And that loses much of the eerie, methodical dread that was cultivated earlier. His direction also falters in the action sequences. There's a lot of rapid cuts and dim lighting, which are intended to evoke chaos, but they often make the action difficult to follow, and it reduces the impact of the key confrontations that we're seeing. The editing is also a big issue for me. There are scenes in this where it just feels like it's stitched together out of sequence. Probably a good example is the creature is, the Golgotha, as it's called, is in the main hall, but literally in the next scene, it's in a completely different area of the museum. Now, I know the creature moves fast, but it can't move that fast. Now, this actually gave the appearance of the creature being not one but two different creatures at some times, but that was never established or made further use of. So I don't know if that's what they wanted to do, but yeah, it just seemed like, let's put this here and then we'll edit in this part here, and it just didn't work in that part. Now, speaking of the creature, let's have a look at the effects. And look, the titular Relic, the monstrous hybrid of reptile and mammal, is designed by Stanwinston Studios, known for their iconic work in films like Jurassic Park, Aliens, more than I can name. But the creature's design, whilst it is menacing and imaginative, and it does blend biological plausibility and nightmarish qualities, the CGI effects used, though cutting edge at the time, they've aged poorly. The digital effects lack the weight and realism needed to make the monster fully convincing, and it undermines some of the menace. The disparity between physical and digital effects creates a very jarring inconsistency in the film's visual impact. That being said, the practical effects are used effectively in close-ups, and they showcase the grotesque details of the creature. They look really good. Also, there's a few body parts being flown about, so they look cool as well. Yeah, effects-wise, it is good, but the CGI is just where it's let down. And we do find that with a lot of 90s films, unfortunately, because CGI was just coming into real use and it hadn't progressed that far. Don't get me wrong, I like the look of the monster and I liked what they did with it. It just hasn't held up to today's standards. Okay, so now we get on to rewatchability, and it's been a long, long damn time since I saw this. Well, since I first saw it. And yes, I have watched it a few times, and I do enjoy it. So even after everything I've mentioned, I still get a kick out of this one. But will I rewatch it? Yeah, I probably will. It's a fun film. It's a little bit cheesy, and it's got exactly what we crave out of monster movies. A good lead, someone to root for. It's got an interesting creature and a bit of mystery behind where it's come from. Although, we kind of put two and two together. If you watch it, you can see. So yeah, I definitely will rewatch this. Overall, The Relic is a mixed bag. It's got an atmospheric setting, it's got good performances, and occasionally some effective, scary scenes. and that makes it an entertaining watch for fans of 1990s monster movies. However, the underdeveloped characters, the uneven pacing, and the dated effects hold it back from achieving its true potential. It delivers on thrills in parts, but it lacks the depth and innovation to stand out in a genre populated by superior entries. Look at The Thing, look at Alien. To get up there, it needs that little bit extra. For casual viewers, The Relic may satisfy a craving for nostalgia and creature-centric horror. But for those seeking a more profound or polished experience, it may leave something to be desired. Overall, for a score, I would give The Relic a 6 out of 10. And there you have it. That is my review of The Relic. Have you seen this film? Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below, because, like I said, I do still enjoy this one for all the things that I say. It misses a few things, but it's also good. And Tom Sizemore is fantastic in this role. I enjoy him as an actor. I think he's great in this as well. So anyway, before I dribble on too much, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please do hit that thumbs up button. It'd be much appreciated. And of course, you might as well subscribe to my channel if you've made it this far. Hit that button and hit that notification bell so you're notified each time I do release a new review. Now we are coming up to the end of November, so what will we be doing in December? Well, it's December. It's Christmas time. So guess what? Yeah, we're going to be looking at Christmas films. Got some good ones I haven't looked at before as well. Ones that I wanted to watch last year and missed. And we will be diving into one which came out this year. So yeah, that'll be fun. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.